Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks Part 4, and I apologize if I'm irritating you with so many of these, but I was just looking at it, and the original wasn't like topped off like right here. So let's see if this wouldn't work. Let's take a 2-point line, and let's go from like right there to right there. I didn't get it all, so I'm going to get my shape. I could actually go past. Well, I want it even. Hold down the control button. I'm just going to go past because I'm going to smart fill this in. And then I'm going to nudge it over, and I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm going to contour to the inside. So I'm going to go to effects and contour to the inside. I don't know what that measurement is. That's a little bit too much. Let's go 0.1. I'm working with millimeters and I don't know. That's kind of exactly what I want. So now let's take our line away. Let's take this and ungroup it, break the contour apart, and I'm going to left click, I'm going to right click outline, hairline, and I'm going to nudge it back. Well, first of all, I'm going to take away this line. So I'm going to back up till I have that line. I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key and delete that part of the line. I think this might look more, I'm going to delete that line, like the original invitation. So since I backed up, I got to break the contour apart. Now, if you can't ever do that, you select it and break the contour apart. And we'll immediately go and hit it red, and then let's nudge it over. So what I'm trying to do is make it look a little more even, but not this box across the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these two and right click and break them apart. Grab these two, right click and break them apart, and then take my virtual segment delete key. So this is going to be our new top. I hope that is understandable. We're a little bit too close to this line somehow. So we're going to take our shape tool. Well, you know what? That's kind of what we want to do. I guess I should have thought about this before I started. I'm going to delete those two nodes. I'm going to take it back. I'm not going to delete those two nodes. I'm going to take my 3-point curve line and just make this solid, give it a little bit of a curve. And then I'm going to take break this apart. Okay, I need this line. So what I'm going to do is grab the shape tool and put this down on this line, holding down the control button. And we actually want this one over here. And she can change it. Then take the virtual segment delete key and delete this. And this is that looks terrible. We can fix that when we smart fill it. But what I'm trying to do is put a border around it. So we'll do the same thing over here and go ahead and just right click and take that apart so it won't, when I cut it, it won't cut all the way through. And see what happens when I delete that line. That's good. And I'm going to be able to fix the other side. So what I'm going to do is take the shape tool. I'm just going to put that right there. And then maybe give it a little bit of a curve with the shape tool. Okay, whenever you do that, I'm going to select it and right click and turn it into a curve. And then when I do that, I'll have this curve line. And this might be totally off the chart. But I think what it's going to do is going to make the invitation look more realistic. So first I'm going to smart fill it and see how that's going to look. Now let's move that over And let's left click. We have to do that to be able to fix that one part right there. We want to get a little bit closer, kind of like this. And we'll just, whoop. So I'm going to add a node right there by double clicking, right click that and turn it into a curve. And just kind of bring that in. And a little bit of finesse. What happened to my, let me back up here. Oh, since I smart filled it, it didn't get everything. So let's back up here. Let's make a duplicate. Always make a duplicate so you'll know what you're doing. And even though I haven't smart filled it, well, you know what, we can smart fill it. And the cut lines are still going to be there. And then I'm going to left click, right click. And probably going to have two sets of lines. I should have deleted the other one. So let's double click, make a node, right click, turn that into a curve. And by doing that, we can get that close. See, there is a double line there. But what we can do now is click on that and hit delete. And then delete that line. We've got something going on funny there. Well, let's delete that. Well, I got another double, but I'm going to show you in just a second that the double line is not going to hurt us, because now we're going to smart fill the whole thing again. And honestly, to make this work, I don't know how my nudge factor got set on. Let's go 500. Well, that's too much. Wow. Let's go 100. Oh, you know, I said in part 2, I said on inches. So let's just do 10. I was thinking I was still working with millimeters. So now what you would really have to do to make this work would have to, well, what we can do, instead of filling in those with a smart fill, let's do this. See, everything else is good except for these shapes. So let's take the virtual segment delete key and delete these lines. And we can actually delete all this. And see, now we just have the inside of that. And let's just move it over. Now, is there another set? Okay. Let's go up to object, break the curve apart, and get rid of these lines. Well, let's just get rid of everything but the outside. There's our card, our invitation, and there's our new, I think this is, I'm going to group it together and rotate it in 90 degrees, because that's the way the invitation was originally looked at. I think this is going to be the way to go, because you've still got, I mean, everything's going to work, and then you fill that in with smart fill. That's going to cut out, and the blue is going to be the paper. But just keep in mind, you want to, go through there like we did in part 3 and make these bigger. But by doing this, it'll kind of hold it all together, much like the other deal, but this will look much more attractive. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.